Hey folks, we're heading into the fall, and this is the time of year that I do the annual maintenance on my John Deere lawn tractor. Now, every fall I'll typically change the oil and grease things up, but about every 3 or 4 years, I'll actually buy one of these little home maintenance kits. And in addition to the oil and oil filter, it also comes with an air filter, fuel filter, and spark plug. So it's nice to kind of give your mower a little tune-up every few years. So now I've already warmed the tractor up, and I've taken the deck off. I always take the deck off before I change the oil, else you might get oil all over your deck. And it's also a good time to sharpen your blades and such in the fall. So I actually created a separate video for that. I'll link that in below. But let's get to the oil change. So step number one is, of course, to drain your old oil. So once again, I've already warmed the engine up. Here is the oil drain port. So I have a jug that I typically catch it in. And as you can see, it's not running very fast. Pop that loose. That allows it to vent. And we'll let this drain. Okay, I let that get down to a slow drip. I reinstalled the plug, and next thing to do is remove the filter. Now, I always kind of make a little channel out of some tin foil to kind of help keep the oil from getting all up underneath the engine. But depending on who put your filter on, you might need a tool to get that off, but I didn't, because I'm the fellow that put it on last time. So yeah, that tin foil just keeps things from getting all over the place. Get this one off. Put it in the box. And then of course your new filter. Put a little bit of oil on it and screw it back in. Of course, you just kind of want to get this down hand tight. There's no reason to, get this on extremely tight. Now I am going to, re-pull that plug just to catch any more extra oil that has drained since I put the plug back in. So as you can see, that tin foil worked real nice. It kept it nice and neat under there. And this is one of the reasons I like using the measuring jug, is I'm just under 2 quarts. So I'm sure it burned a little bit of oil over the summer, and there's probably still some left in the filter. So very happy with that. And now all I need to do is put the 2 quarts of oil that came with the kit into the fill port. It's nice, you don't even need a funnel here, but watch, you don't want to pour it in too fast or you can overfill it too quickly. Okay, oil change is done. Now I'm not going to start the mower until after I get the plugs changed, because I don't want to heat the engine up again before I change the plugs. So the next thing I'm going to tackle while I continue to let the engine cool is the air filter. So basically just 2 quarter turn knobs here. Lift this up. There's the filter. Get a little thumb clamp here to get the old filter off. Now, pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to put the new one back on. All right, new filter. It comes with a foam. Put the foam around it. I did see another video where a gentleman took compressed air and blew around in here with the filter off. Now, don't do that, because all you're going to do is force dirt down into your air intake. So anyhow, if you do want to clean this area out, I suggest just doing it with a damp paper towel. Air filter is complete. I'm going to move on to the fuel filter. All right, so the fuel filter sits right here. Now, I'm not going to film this whole sequence, but basically, you just loosen the clamps, slide them back, and then you're just going to pull the hose off each end. It's just hard to get my hands down in here, so I'm going to turn the camera off when I do that. But you'll probably also want to have some paper towels sitting down below, because there is probably some fuel. Yeah, I can see some sitting in the fuel bowl there. So anyhow, yeah, I'll be back here in a minute after I have this installed. So after a little bit of wiggling and twisting, I got it off of there. It actually wasn't too bad. Just be careful you don't pull too hard on the hose and pull the opposite end off either side. So you might need a screwdriver or something in there to kind of help you wedge it off. But yeah, on to the spark plugs. All right, so now onto the spark plugs. Now, of course, there's 2 of them, and they're on the front side of each side of the engine here. So yeah, just grab the cap and be careful you don't pull on the wire. Now this is actually a 13/16 inch plug. Okay, time to put the new plug in. Now I always use a little bit of anti-seize on the threads. It's just something I was taught as a kid, so I continue to do it. But yeah, I'm just going to stick this in there. Now the torque spec on this is 20 Newton meters or 15 foot-pounds. Now, I actually don't have a torque wrench that goes that low, so I'm just going to get this thing snug down. 15 foot-pounds isn't very much, so just kind of get it down, bottomed out here, then maybe give it a quarter turn. Yeah, not much. I'll do the other side and I'm going to be done. And before I put the cap back on, I've always been told it's the best practice to put some dielectric grease in here. It just helps fight corrosion. So anyhow. All right, on to the other side. Okay, so I'm fully done with the kit, but a few other things. Make sure you grease your zerks. I think you got about a half dozen pivot points on these tractors, so make sure you do that. And right now I'm going to jump on and see if this thing starts. I'm figuring it might take it a second or two since the fuel bowl was empty, but we'll see if she fires up right away or not. And also, yeah, this is the time to look for any possible leaks around your oil filter. If you do have some, you might need to get it on a little bit tighter.